A genuine island, a world apart. Welcome to Madagascar. Madagascar, or officially known as the Republic of Madagascar. Its capital is Antananarivo. Under the form of republic government, approximately 28,427,328 total of population. Nationality is Malagasy. They have two official languages, which is French and Malagasy. In terms of religion, they have three major, which is the indigenous beliefs, 52% of the population, Christianity, 41%, and Muslim has 7%. Their currency is called Madagascar Ariari, East Africa time zone, and their climate is along the coast, it's tropical, inland is temperate, and arid in the south. The current president is Andry Rajoelina. Madagascar was first inhabited by the Indonesian seafarers during the 1st century AD. Tribal groups formed, and today there are 18 different tribal groups. Some of the largest are the Merin, Betsileo, and Betsimisaraka. In the 7th century, Arab traders arrived and built trading posts along the northwest coast of Madagascar. The first European to arrive was Portuguese Captain Diego Diaz in the 1500s. Many years later, the French established trading posts on the island. A strong leader from the Merina tribe united much of the island in the 1790s. In 1870, he came to an agreement with the British to abolish the slave trade. In return, the British would provide military and financial assistance. In 1885, the French made Madagascar a colony. The British, who were also heavily involved in Madagascar, agreed to this in return for control over Zanzibar. After World War II, Madagascar began to move towards independence. In 1960, it became a fully independent country. The major industries of Madagascar are meat processing, soap, breweries, tanneries, sugar, textiles, glassware, cement, automobile assembly plant, paper, petroleum, and tourism. Their agricultural products are coffee, vanilla, sugarcane, cloves, cacao, rice, cassava tapioca, beans, bananas, peanuts, and livestock products. Their natural resources are graphite, chromite, coal, bauxite, salt, quartz, tar sands, semi-precious stones, mica, fish, and hydropower. Their major exports are coffee, vanilla, shellfish, sugar, cotton cloth, chromite, and petroleum products. Their major imports are capital goods, petroleum, consumer goods, and food. Their national gross domestic product is approximately 14.11 billion US dollars. The Malagasy people has quite unique culture. Their cuisine is based on a rice staple of the diet and consumed with nearly every meal. In the highland areas, rural areas, and remote places of the country, traditional dresses are still worn. The modern Malagasy poets and writers promote the use of Malagasy language and blend it well with the oral traditions. Morenji, an indigenous hand-to-hand combat game, is popular in the coastal regions of Madagascar. Christian festivals are celebrated with great pomp and glory in Madagascar. Madagascar is an amalgamation of various cultures of its multi-ethnic population. The culture of the country reflects the origins of Malagasy people and exhibits striking resemblance in certain aspects with the cultural practices of Southeast Asians and East Africans. The culture of the country is also influenced by the cultures of the Arabic, Indian, French, English, and Chinese settlers in the country. Despite having a high potential for tourism, the tourism in Madagascar is underdeveloped. Madagascar's tourist attractions include its beaches and biodiversity. The island's endemic wildlife and forests are unique tourist attractions. However, historical sites, craftsmen, communities, and relaxed cities make it a favorite with return travelers. Madagascar has been isolated from the African landmass for approximately 165 million years, and its flora and fauna evolved in isolation from that time onwards. The island is one of the world's most biologically diverse areas and is internationally renowned as a wildlife tourism and ecotourism destination, focusing on lemurs, birds, and orchids. More than half of the island's breeding birds are endemic. Other native species include the red-billed lemur, the ai, and the indri, the largest lemur species. Maswala National Park is the landmark park of Madagascar, trespassing 250 miles of tropical rainforests and marine playgrounds, home to a diverse array of wildlife, species, and reptiles. The park's ecosystem policies have been on the improvement since many years. Kayaking and snorkeling are popular activities for tourists once they reach the waterfalls that torrent down from the cliffs and into roaring sea. Sandwiched in the beaches of Kerendimiti National Park is a seaside region called Morondova. It houses several villages and particularly famed for its wooden huts and timber guest houses that are established in the center. It is thoroughly visited by tourists and backpackers looking for cross-country adventures. The Avenue of the Baobabs is also found here, a striking landscape of hulking baobab trees across a dirt road in densely forested land. Although the jungles have been cleared, the humongous trunks have stood there for nearly 800 years now. Located offshore near the Indian waters, Nosy Bay is one of the premier tourist spots in Madagascar, boasting some trademark beaches of the country. The turquoise waters, small fishing villages, and swaying jumbles of palm trees along the beautiful bays offer a splendid vacation spot. Nosy Bay is acclaimed for its terrific seafood quality and harmonious tropical beaches that parties erupt every weekend in the nearby native villages. Accommodation for tourists is also available in shape of small huts and hotels. Allahamady Bay. This celebration, although held in March, doesn't have any specific day. However, it usually lasts about 2 days. Some events held in this festival include local dances accompanied by traditional music. This festival hosts reasonably large crowds. Next is the Martyrs' Day. It is a memorial of the 1947 rebellion. It is a celebration held on the 29th of March, and it is a public holiday in the Malagasy in remembrance of the lives that were lost in the revolt of 1947. Next is the Madagascar. This event features jazz artists that came from all across the world. Performing within a 2-week period, places assigned for this international event include the capital of Madagascar, Antananarivo. Second to the last major festival we have is Sambatra. This festival is to bring together Madagascar's 18 tribes. Lastly is the Fesimana, held each year on Takarana people. This is a purification festival with carefully performed rituals.